Welcome back, my kindred, to Canada by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade live play podcast. As the clan meeting continued, Everett revealed that Matthew Theobald would become the new prince and that mortals would have representatives in the new system. And in the end, the plan received unanimous support. The clans offered their various expertise in enacting the assassination, and Evangeline called an end to the meeting. Madre stayed behind to question Val about the Brian Tombstone incident and secured 10 new Brujah in compensation. But now it's time to update the future prince. Find out what happens next as we return to the world of darkness.
Everett, you filled Matthew Theobald in on all of the news. Is this a conversation you're having separate from the group, or are your two compatriots joining you for this?
They can join if they like, although if something occurs to Everett that needs doing, he might issue an order for them, one or both of them, to go take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the elementary school still. You've finished the meeting. The daytime officers, there were 2 that were stationed here to help set this up, begin to take things down and return the school to relative normalcy. You relay all the information. Matthew Theobald is positive. He's taken it all in. That all makes a great deal of sense to me, Sheriff. I'm happy to be part of the video. I do have the financial assets that I believe we could move forward. The cryptocurrency has been moved to a different cryptocurrency wallet, but I believe I could get my hands on it once the current prince is removed. My people could enter in and, let's just say, borrow certain parts of his wallet and identity in the short term. We'll be ready to do that quickly. I'm just concerned, based on the finances, a certain amount of money has been set aside for purposes otherwise, but I can make it work. I have assets. I'll be able to pay anyone you promised money to. We'll level all of those things. We'll be able to carry some things moving forward. Is there anything else you need from me for this plan tomorrow other than the video? I assume that the Nosferatu are sending over their expert to be able to do that video and then the splicing.
Yeah, that is where we left things with them. As it stands, the Prince Tostarosa expects to be in the family protection building with his bodyguards and the department. Now, does that include Vladimir as his cover or no?
Unfortunately, I don't believe Vladimir can afford to be caught up in a coup that would give this city to someone other than the New Notte Nostra. Better for him to plead ignorance and failure ultimately than to put me on the throne and find himself executed for failing to deliver the city to them. So you have the department, you have the daytime officers. If you don't want to risk them, I could provide ghouls of my own, but there is a risk in doing so that the security could know that certain people have been traded in or traded out.
That's a kind offer. I may take you up on that. I think you're right that there may be a concern of new faces, let's say. But we may have come into some red cell uniforms last night that aren't being used anymore. Maybe we put some of your ghouls in some red cell gear?
That is an interesting possibility. Perhaps what we can do in the short term, rather than trying to send false red cell to interact with true red cell, we could use them to move the families of your daytime officers out of the family protection building and into some sort of neutral ground where my people could watch them with the appearance of it being red cell, so there would be no flags raised about moving, I don't even know how many it is, a couple dozen people and children out of the combat zone.
Well, yes, that is a must. Yeah.
We could take them to the church, I believe. Not that she'd particularly appreciate it after your treatment of her, but there is the basement of B-positive therapy.
That is something I'm going to have to talk to that person
Rosemary Bellevue, I believe.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a Rolodex, sir.
I'm learning that.
Do you have a certain faction that you trust the most? Do you believe things are good with the Brujah right now?
Yeah, but that's going to change real soon.
Is it going to change tomorrow?
No.
Well, I believe from what you've told me, they have a basement that's currently decorated to look like the Pyramid 2.0, and I don't believe, Sheriff, that is needed for other things.
That is correct. Okay.
Fake red cell, deliver them there. You've got the Brujah, they have their ghouls, those who stay in their bar and their mechanic shop and their everything through the day. The families will be looked after and not expected to attend the parade.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I'll get in touch with Madre.
Why don't you let me get in touch with Madre? This is the kind of work that I think I can take off your plate, and it is perhaps a way to start a new relationship, knowing that there will be even more Brujah than before, which, for the record, Sheriff, I approve of. I think you handled the situation nicely. And it also allows us to add new vampires to the city that we know will be loyal, that we know will be capable of combat, and that no one else will expect to be given at the same time for balance.
Yeah. I'll just have to make sure we don't push too far and end up going over blood budget.
Well, luckily, the additional blood that you need was also provided by me, Sheriff.
I remember, yes.
We'll keep this together, and I believe with the removal of the Pyramid 2.0 and then Red Cell, a certain amount of that pressure will be gone naturally.
I know we brought things down a bit that way, so yeah, I'm hoping 10 new kindred won't be too stressful on the system.
That is acceptable. I will make sure the families are safely removed from the scene, and I will negotiate with the Brujah to make that happen, Sheriff. Focus on the way to ensure the death of the prince.
Right. Will do. Thank you.
Ta-ta for now.
Good night.
Well, hang up the phone.
Looking to Miller and Clark. Everett will say, right. I think we all need to head over to the family protection building and brainstorm, figure out how we're going to do this ambush and assassination.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good?
Yeah. Do we need to bring anyone else in to help with strategy, or is
Madre's offered hardware and construction and sure, maybe even a little strategy, but I want us to have a first pass at it.
Okay.
All right, let's head out.
Okay. Come on, Purse.
You make your way to your two vehicles. We got a squad car that I'm imagining is containing Everett, Evangeline, and Percy, who has belted in. Val's got Cherry, and you make your way to the Val Miller Family Protection Building. Mm-hmm. You are there. It is multiple stories. I know, Val, you've been doing additional planning in this regard, as well as studying the general members of these groups. So we can get specific, because we have labeled who is staying in the entire building. So as you step out and look at it, you begin to take in the details that you can see of the building. It is 4 stories tall. On each floor, there are 6 units. 3 to, we can say the north, but it doesn't really matter. It's 3 on one side, 3 on the other, with a central hallway that moves through the middle. At one end of the hallway, there's the elevator that goes up and down through those stories. And at the other are the stairs that allow people to go up and down in a more, traditional fashion if the elevator is down or if they want to move for other reasons. You have 25 daytime officers, including Barty and Troy. When it comes to the general structure in terms of families, you already know, and you've made some good choices in getting the families out and making sure that the kids are out of there as well. The ground floor, there is a rotating entrance with a pillbox next to it with a machine gun mounted into the wall, so it can kind of aim out, cover things. It requires a manual entrance for people to get in and out of the entrance.
Is that the stair side or the elevator side?
That is the very front of the building and the back of the building. The central floor is a straight hallway through. If you walk in the front door of the building, you are looking down a hallway to the back door of the building.
Okay.
So on either side, there are the apartments.
Oh, so east and west?
Yes.
Okay.
It's laid out a little differently than the others through the whole building. So
the first floor is like perpendicular layout
Yes,
to the other.
first floor is a
Okay, thank
perpendicular
you.
layout to the other floors.
Appreciate
The
that.
walls are reinforced. The windows have protective shutters that can roll down, both to make them light tight as well as to provide kind of bulletproof and other protections. There are concrete barriers that prevent people from going up off of the street onto the sidewalk and into the building. They've been laid out at the front and back. It has buildings to either side, but there's enough space between them, and with the shutters, there isn't an opportunity for people to be able to easily make their way in from building to building. Kindred could theoretically make their way from the tops of the nearby buildings onto the roof, but that's been anticipated in a cynical level of planning that Val, you'd be aware of and the others aren't.
Yeah.
The ground floor and the top floor are people who don't have families, because the idea is that if somebody's going to take a hit early on in the assault, it's going to be the people without families who can then allow the other officers time to respond and either move their families up or down the building or hold the center if they need to. Val, your apartment is on the 3rd floor because you do have Will, so he's considered a dependent, but you're close to the roof because Everett, you're in the basement normally. And technically, Barty has a room which is on the top floor. And Troy is on the top floor as well. So the idea is that for lack of a better term, expendables are there. If the alarm goes off in any apartment, it triggers the front desk in Val's room. 3rd floor is the unit with kids. 4th floor has spouses, people with spouses in a lot of cases. Top floor, no spouses. Yep, they're rocking it. Yeah. So that's pretty much the building. There's a question of just which unit would you want to have somebody meet in? How would you want to lay this out? What's your plan? You've talked the idea previously about silver nitrate being put in through the sprinkler system. You now know, essentially, you can have your daytime officers in this building, and you can have the 3 of you in this building. That's who you have clearance for at this time. You know from your phone call, Toaster Rosa will be inside the building and his bodyguards, whatever that means.
Yep.
I open the conversation to all of you now.
Yeah. All right. Officer Miller, you've got the most experience with ambushes, setting traps, captures, kills, all that kind of stuff. What do you make of what we got here?
Well, considering that there's a question mark about what kind of bodyguards the prince is bringing, that could go any sort of way. Straight off, though, we never distributed the silver bullets that Matthew Theobald's arms dealer gave us, because I figured Barty has them, but whether or not we want to give them to all the daytime officers who are going to be there, arm them, make it easier.
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
I think if any night we want to arm all our officers with silver, it's tomorrow night.
Makes sense. Yeah, we'll be out of it again after that, but then at least everyone will have a clip.
I think that gives everyone the best shot. What do you think of the silver nitrate approach? I know it puts us in a lot of danger, but...
Yeah, exactly. We would have to figure out some way of getting out from under that. It might work.
Is there any, it's like you go to a concert and it's going to rain, so you bring like a little poncho that's like wrapped up and really small, it fits in your purse.
I was thinking...
Looks at Val's blank expression.
Like, what?
No, it's is there something that we can like throw on ourselves, like equivalent to like a full body gas mask kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like
I was thinking, like hazmat suits, but I mean, how do you explain that?
Yeah, it would have to be something that would be really quick to get on or over us or...
Yeah, like concert ponchos.
Val, can you roll me a wits and streetwise?
Yep. Normal or kindred?
Kindred. Because you've done a lot of kindred ambushes over your career.
Yeah, that's like scoping out what would be a good way to approach this. Cool, Val. Cool. I got 2 successes and 2 ones, not on hunger dice, but that's a zip from me. No success. Nothing burger.
You are so confused by this idea of speed ponchos and seeing if you can math that out. Just like, is there a version of it that will be quick enough that when the sprinklers kick on that you could carry, that you're running through your military suppliers? This isn't a level of like, Doris doesn't understand technology. This is... Okay, if we've got somebody with a quick ejection unit, could we cover it? But how would we wear that? How bulky would it be compared to clothing? How would it stand out? Where could you stash it?
Yeah.
but it's going to be in a decorated room. You're already seeing toreadors show up and go up to the building, and they seem to be milling around the entrance. They're not sure where to go yet. It's almost like the police have been told to let them into the fucking building at this point. But they're there for that. So Val is caught up in this idea, though she can come up with anything else she wants. It's just hitting, it's tamping down some of your other instincts. Everett, can I get a wits and investigation from you? And Evangeline, can I get a wits and... I'm going to say investigation as well. I think you've had to do some journalistic explorations. You've studied things about where would you catch somebody with a surprise interview, things like that. So it may not be how to physically trap somebody in a traditional police sense, but if I was going to find somebody, if I was going to gotcha somebody, here's how I'd want to structure getting the bad faith party.
Yeah. 2 successes.
3 successes.
3 successes. I would say between the two of you kind of both presenting an idea, both of you kind of in the course of this conversation that's ongoing. Evangeline, one of the things that comes to you is if you're going to try to deal with an unwilling subject that you have to deal with for any length of time, one of the things is you want to make sure they can't get out. There's a problem with this in terms of an interview of if you're trying to catch the politician and they can just walk out the door to an area you can't get to, it's over. So that is a priority concern. The thing you're realizing, Everett, is if you pick the right room, and you pick the scale, you can limit how many bodyguards could be physically in the room based on which space you give them. And you can limit exits.
Right.
I would say once these 2 ideas synergize together, kind of like we could call it a 5 success roll. It's 2 for that and 2 for that. The 5th is you could set up the sprinkler system to go off everywhere except one room.
Yeah.
And if you choose the size of the room, you can choose the number of people who are in it. Your mortal officers are not affected by silver nitrate. They're ghouls.
That's right.
So there's no damage to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I think another reason that Val has no input on this besides thinking about tiny raincoat situation is if they're going to take all of the people in the building, all the families, and move them and to where the Brujah are, and Val is like, what do I do with Will?
Yep. Everyone's thinking about that too.
Because obviously the whole fight in the hallway was about that, and she's not feeling very comfortable being like, here, go hang out with the Brujah, which I think under normal circumstances she might have more leeway with that, but it feels very like, I don't know what to do with him.
There is a follow-up question that might pop up to you or an idea that might pop up to you solely based on this. Michael Arden did just really go out on a limb for you.
That is true. Yeah. But that's the hard part is that Val feels indebted to him, and you don't ask someone who did something for you for more favors.
I will point out then at the police station currently, one cell has Paul Wilson in it, who has not been released.
Yeah.
And the other has Kai and Bear. There is a third cell that was traditionally Michael Arden's science magic room, but he has been released, is now a clan leader, and is dealing with Pritchard's peculiarities. So that cell, his stuff will be being removed, and you do have a cell available across the street.
I know.
But it is across the street from a war zone. It
is. And it's also emotionally not cool, in her opinion. So it's becoming like she's in just gridlock in her brain of trying to function these things. Yeah.
So I will cut back to the planning that is being more effectively done by Everett and Evangeline. I will come back to you, Val, see if you have a solve of the will problem that's running through your head, or if you come up with some form of speed poncho we can all believe. But Val has gone quiet. Everett and Evangeline, you were still talking through possible plans.
I like the idea of having protection from the silver nitrate. What if it wasn't like a garment, but a room? One of the apartments, maybe.
It'd have to be a place where we would have a reason to go to that wouldn't arouse suspicion.
Well, I mean, who all lives here? I live in the basement. I don't think that's a good idea. You've got a room here.
Yeah, 3rd floor.
3rd floor is in the middle. Hard to get out of right away. I mean, it doesn't have to be your apartment, but why would we want to hold the ceremony in an apartment?
I mean, not necessarily hold the ceremony. We just need a place where it makes sense for us to go to leave them. If we're dousing the entire place except for one unit.
Oh, I was thinking we're not going anywhere without the prince. Is my assumption, and his bodyguards aren't going anywhere without him. We don't know how many we're dealing with, so we can at least maybe get the numbers down to a more manageable figure by keeping them in a smaller room. Have all the excess bodyguards out in the hall get melted, essentially, by that silver nitrate. And then the rest of us still alive inside of the apartment, well, we do what we got to do with everyone who remains.
Do we still have the shaft of belated dissolution, or is that...
No, Doris had that
Doris
on her
has that,
person, and
yeah.
she took off with it. You do have the fake shaft.
The fake
that
one.
has been created by Michael Arden. It was acknowledged that no one except an experienced Tremere would be able to identify it, and you know that all of the experienced Tremere are quite literally dead.
Yeah.
I mean, kill everyone outside. Give the prince the fake shaft. He thinks he's invincible.
Yeah. He doesn't want that handed over, by the way. Like, I hold it and give it to him. That's something he mentioned a while ago.
Right.
He's not that dumb, basically. I think there's probably a way we could put it in a case or something and hand the case over to him. Something like that. A display case or something so we can see it, but...
A moving truck rolls down the street and parks behind you. Viron Farron climbing out of the passenger seat with another gaudily dressed Toreador climbing out of the driver's seat. Viron steps up to the two of you and says, "Oh, all right, so where do you want... I have so much here to decorate a space for us to record in. Where are we going? What do you need?"
One of the apartments on the 3rd floor. Think you could make it over into a presentable place?
Yeah. Do you want me to justify the 3rd floor for you?
That would be appreciated.
Fabulous. Times to red carpet. We'll purple carpet. We're not even going to red carpet. That's so passe. We're going to purple carpet right to the elevator. We'll purple carpet the interior. We'll purple carpet all the way to a room. We'll put up some drapes. We'll cast it so there's almost like a walk and talk, or we can do a cool... I don't really need to go through this with you. Yes, I can do that.
Great. Do your purple carpeting out here for starters. We need to clear out some people in this building first. It's going to happen soon, but we're not there yet.
Fabulous. I can start on that. Anything else? Excuse me. Viron just waves a bunch of people away. Is there anything else that you need for, shall we say, other preparations?
Some kind of a display case, I guess, for the shaft of belated dissolution, this stake.
Yes, come with me. And Viron Farron just hauls up the back of the truck. Shudder. You look in, it's chock full of tapestries, cloth, furniture, displays, pedestals. Viron Farron goes in, walks back with 3 different, elegantly lined cases with glass covers. One is a dark black wood. One is a harsh metal with a broken glass pattern filled with metal in the gaps in between. So you have like very classic, very modern and metal. And then there's one that is a bright, light, airy, almost rose gold frame box that is an equal display. One of these?
Yeah, whichever one you think Tostarosa would like the most, I guess. Whichever one you think he'd look at and not think, I'm about to die.
Classic wood. Just rose gold aside, too soft. This one's too scary. This one will feel like an elegant gift.
Great. Thank you very much.
No problem.
We have the dual issue of preventing the prince from leaving on a whim, as he is wont to do, and preventing backup from entering. Is there a way we can, once everyone who's intended to be inside is inside, is there a way to, let's say, block off all emergency exits and disguise that with some sort of fancy decor?
Right now it's all very fortified. And I would say, looking at it, it seems like this is electronic, which pushes it beyond our compare. But if 1010 is sending you the splicer, that is probably the person who could help you put together a, shall we say, kill switch that locks the building down from the outside or the inside or wherever the button is pushed, but in a way that would not be so apparent from within the system itself. If you are lucky, this is how you're going to know if 1010 is honored or not, because I know 1010's best person, Unity Castile. If you get sent to any other Nosferatu, send them home and get Unity Castile. That's the good one.
Unity
on the tech front.
Castile.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other Nosferatu will not do, but if you get Unity, you know the splice will work, you know this tech will work, you know that this all will work. Also, if they set up the cameras, frankly, it'll just look good. If the apartment's big enough and you want it to be smaller, also talk to Unity. She can put the right amount of lighting equipment, the right amount of camera things. It'll all look very staged and also very necessary. If unplug one thing, suddenly all the other things will go off. Big spaces can be very small when it comes to camera work, which might let you control the sheer number of people if you're trying to control that specific room.
We are.
Fabulous.
Thank you for your help in this. I know you were kind of thrown into the deep end there with that call from the prince. I appreciate you doing this.
I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate a chance for the Toreador to have a larger voice, and I appreciate New Haven having some future whatsoever, because right now everything else is tremendously awful.
Well, we're all going to do our best to change that.
Wonderful. Are there any other things I should be worried about? Any other weapons you're putting into place? Anything you need to make sure is uncovered or still functional that is not, shall we say, covered over by any part of our decorations?
What do you think, Miller?
Val is staring into the middle distance. What?
You, what do you think, Officer Miller?
Sorry, about what?
Is there anything else we need?
When it comes to decorations, is there anything that you need to make sure is exposed and still functional, or anything you'd like to specifically be covered?
Oh, right. The system? The sprinkler system.
Yeah, we need, I think this is maybe a Unity thing now, but we need sprinklers to go off everywhere in the building but the room that we're going to be doing this in.
Yeah, that's probably a Unity thing, but if you want the sprinklers to work, then I'll make sure we don't put anything on the ceiling that covers them.
Thank you.
Are we juicing the sprinklers? Is that the plan?
Do you want to have that info?
Of course I do.
Yeah, we are.
Amazing. And you're not going to trigger them in the room that I assume you're going to be in?
That is the plan.
Oh, do I have the fabric? Do I have the fabric? That's a messy successy. Oh, I have the fabric. Viron circles back in and climbs back in and pulls out some big purple curtains with black lace on the edges, and he flips them over and says, check this shit out. And it turns out they are plastic lined because they are designed to be light tight curtains. I can put these in the room. I can hang these on the wall, and then if you need to leave the room into, shall we say, a deluge of some very unpleasant things, you could just yank it down, throw it on as a cape, and off you go. Tempted?
I am.
It seems better than the pocket raincoat thing.
What do you think, Officer Clark?
Yeah, of course. Yes. It's like a raincoat that's fucking there.
Fabulous. Oh, yes, we've got this. Oh, the only other question I have before we need to start working immediately. Sheriff, what are the 3 words you would use to describe your fashion sense?
Plain, hat, and coat.
None of those help me at all.
Sorry, you're looking at my fashion sense. This is it.
Favorite color?
Black.
It's a shade, but we'll allow it.
All right, white then.
Favorite smell?
Favorite smell? I guess like sorry, I'm picking a favorite smell for Everett right now in real time. Oh, this is gonna be a mess. I like the smell of like grass, like after a rain, I guess.
Excellent. That is a good answer. A good answer. Your favorite animal at the zoo?
At the zoo, huh? I guess I like the monkeys. You know.
Excellent. And the final question that I have to know, what is the childhood memory that just keeps looping over and over again in your head? What is it? I need to know. I can't do any of this until I know.
Really?
I need to know, Sheriff. I need. This is for you. This is for me. This is for the art, Sheriff. This is for the art.
All right. And what is it? A childhood memory that I keep playing over and over in my head?
Yes, the one that haunts you.
The one that haunts me?
Good or bad. It loops. You go back to it. We all have them, Sheriff. Everyone does.
Yeah. How much info do you need?
I need the truth, Sheriff. I need to see into your soul.
Yeah, but if I say losing Ben, is that enough or do you need more?
I need to know who Ben is.
Ben's my dog.
What kind of dog was Ben?
Lab. Chocolate lab.
Chocolate. And I assume you were raised on a ranch or a farm, or?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's all I need. This is perfect. This is perfect. It's going to be.
Viron.
Yes.
That's some
Yes.
personal stuff. You just asked me questions that I don't really share with anyone else. If this comes back in a way that I don't like, we're going to have a problem.
That could never happen, Sheriff. We're creating art together. We're building a new future, a new haven, a new safe place. You and I, Sheriff. And he raises a hand and runs it down your cheek.
Oh, just hey, all right.
We're gonna do something beautiful. You're going to be beautiful. Let's do the carpeting and the drapes. And Viron just takes off, gets the approval for the pillbox door to open, and they just start loading in stuff to prep and decorate the inside of the building.
Why do I feel like I'm going to be humiliated twice tomorrow night?
Fucking Toreadors.
Yeah. Well, we need him. The prince wanted a fancy place and a fancy to do, and he's the man for the job. So,
Right.
Fine. Wet grass, monkeys, and my dead dog.
Well, Val, with those words, you realize that you still don't have a solution for Will. There's a plan for the building. There's a plan for Red Cell outside. Mm-hmm. There's a plan for all of that. But what are you going to do with Will? Yeah. Or what do you want to ask the others about what you could do with Will?
Yeah. Sheriff, we're going to start getting all the people out of this building soon.
Yeah.
And they're going to the Brujah basement.
That's the plan. I was thinking you want Will to go somewhere else.
Normally, I would make you roll a wits and awareness. What I will say is with the Toreadors moving in and out of the front door of this building, you can see that at the back of the building, because you can see down the hallway, people are being led out by Red Cell, but you all have enough vampire sense to see that they are very peacefully and very relaxedly going. Red Cell is making sure kids are okay to going down the stairs. It's shit that does not math out at all for the traditional Red Cell that you've seen. It's clear Matthew Theobald already has his people moving on the things he could claim from the department. He has access to Barty and the radios,
Yes.
so when he wants to move his agents into something that you have a hand in, it's already happening.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know where the fuck else to send him. I mean, Michael Arden had my back earlier, but
It's got to be a place we can kind of secure him, right? He's not out of the woods yet on that.
that's exactly. He's going to need someone watching him, or otherwise, locked down. And I don't really feel too good about putting him back in jail. And also, that's going to be close to all this shit going down.
All right, what about the church? The church with the 13 Malkavians.
Another option that would come to you, Everett, because you're kind of, I think, outside of Val's stress about this, Vladimir and his 3 accountants are in town. They're all professional criminals. They'd all have been involved in you would guess, looking at Vladimir, like kidnapping, and there's money to be made in those things, and they can't be involved in the physical fight.
Right.
So they're somewhere in the city. It's somewhere unknown to your team, but Vladimir is working for Matthew Theobald and is theoretically on the level.
There's also Vladimir. I mean, he lives somewhere around here, and I know he's not the only one. He's got his crew of, I think, 3 other guys. Maybe they could hold on to Will. I mean, it won't be a requirement for them to be present tomorrow night. There is the issue of how safe do you think he is with Vladimir and his crew? I mean, Vladimir's under Theobald, so it would be bad for him to botch this kind of thing, but I don't know how much comfort that gives you.
Yeah, no matter which way I slice it, it's a tough choice. I mean, the church might be less scary than being with a couple of goons, but...
I mean, I talked to Theobald about the be positive therapy. I mean, that's unused space, but that therapist does not like us.
What about the hospital?
They do have the holding cells in the hospital for new vampires.
It wouldn't be the jail that he was in before.
And you do know Gorbong, Stella, and Dr. K. Holloway, who are on staff.
And between them, they'd make sure he was monitored.
These are all options, but it's got to be your call because you've got to be comfortable with it because we can't have you worrying about Will tomorrow.
Yeah, no. Thanks, Clark. That's a good idea. I think we'll take him to the hospital. Then there'll be enough people around, and hopefully you won't get into too much trouble.
It'll be for one night only.
Okay.
Okay. You want to take him?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Clark, you want to go with him? You want Clark to come with you, I guess?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I'll be there.
Thanks.
I don't have to say anything if you want me to just kind of shut up and be there.
You can say whatever the fuck you want. Thanks for the help.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you need anything else?
No, I think once that's in place, I'll be able to knuckle down and whatever else you need from me after that.
Okay. I'm gonna text you later tonight. End of the night.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. Got a message to send to you.
All right, I'll talk to you then.
All right.
All right, Clark.
All right, let's go. Come on, Perce.
You both go. You go upstairs, we're working your way around the Toreadors who are already frantically decorating the place. And you go to the apartment where you find Will inside, sitting, eating. Let me go to the list for a moment. Eating assorted candy, drinking Coke, and half a dragon fruit is on the table in front of him.
Oh, there you go. He's doing it. He's eating the fruit. Hey, Will.
Hey, what's up?
There's some shit going down tonight, so we're going to have to move you to another place until it all settles down.
Oh, I don't want to go to jail again. It sucks there.
No, I know. We're not taking you to jail. We're going to the hospital.
Well, that's lame too.
Yeah, well,
Why is everywhere lame that I have to go?
because we need to make sure you're safe.
Fine, I guess. I like the statue.
Oh, good. That's, I'll tell you who it's from tomorrow.
It's not. I gotta roll, see if you can hold this thought in. He's gonna try. Wow, that's a 7 successes. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll find out later. I don't need to know now. I'm not thinking of thought that'd get me in trouble. Okay, I guess you want to go to the hospital. Do you need to like handcuff me or something? Or are you worried I'm gonna like run into the wilderness?
No, I was going to ask you that. Do I need to handcuff you? I'm thinking no.
I guess not. I don't know where I'd go. It's not like you're not that slow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, get together some stuff you want to take overnight.
Can I take the desktop?
Yeah, if you want to. I don't see why not.
They better have good Wi-Fi. He just quickly packs up his gaming computer and a monitor and a bunch of us. He just starts immediately handing shit to you, Evangeline, and you, Val, to carry. Yeah,
stuff.
he's just dealing with that. He does not take any food, clothing, or drinks. It's just various entertainment things. All right, let's go.
Okay. Thanks for understanding.
I mean, I don't want to die, but this is why. 2.5 more months, I'm going to be a vampire.
All right, kid, let's just go.
And you go to make your way to the hospital to drop off Will to make sure he has a safe place to stay. Everett, you were remaining here, loosely seeing everything that happens, which is when a car pulls up. A car containing the famed Unity Castile. What kind of car does Unity drive, Laura?
Oh, Unity. What are they called? They're the tiny ones. Unity drives a smart car.
Fabulous. The smart car pulls up, like a smart car. You don't know anything about this vehicle, but it pulls up, Everett, and out of it climbs a Nosferatu. Laura, what does Unity Castile look like?
So Unity steps out of her car a little bit clumsily at first, and then kind of like staggers a little bit and then rights herself because she's in 4-inch silver like stilettos.
Wow.
And she's probably, you would guess, just come from the nightclub. She's wearing black leggings and like a flimsy blue plaid shirt dress over top of it that's just kind of like really loosely draped over her. She's kind of short, but like with her heels, she's like average height. She's got on like really severe, like smoky makeup that's like kind of smudged. And you can see that like the scleras of her eyes are all black. Like it's just you're just like looking into black. If you look up close, you can kind of see the little subtle variation. And she has almost no nose. Like it's almost skeletal. Mm-hmm. And her bone structure is like everything's just too sharp.
Got it.
Like cheeks stand out too much. Chin is a little too pointed. Jawline's a little too sharp.
So a little reminiscent of like the ghoul from Fallout?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Or like Voldemort?
Yeah, kind of like that, but none of like the none of like the skin flaking off like the ghoul has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like a normal human face, but that kind of structure to it.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly that kind of thing. And she's got kind of medium length hair that's clearly blonde, was dyed black a long time ago, and is kind of faded and with like bright orange roots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Unity steps out. Unity, you know who the sheriff is. You know that you have all the gear that you could think you need your smart car.
She's got a backpack.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, she's got like a black, like a Jan Sport pack.
You find yourself facing the sheriff. Yeah. You've been told that you're here to sort out splicing some video and anything else he might require. How do you introduce yourself?
Unity just kind of like taking like small clicky steps, just like comes up and holds out her hand. It's like, hey, sheriff, I'm Unity. You got a video to splice. Tenton sent me to do. Hey, they shake hands.
Hi. Good evening. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Yeah, we'll get you set up with Varen Farron, and I'd like you to chat with one of my officers as well, Deputy Sheriff Chiroptera.
Oh, Barty. Yeah. He's
okay, great.
I like Barty.
Great. Yeah. Come on in this way. You've been briefed on everything that we need done?
Yeah, you needed me to splice a video together, and then we're gonna fake it.
Yeah, we're also looking at remotely kind of like locking down a lot of the building.
That's new to me. All right.
Okay, is that doable on a quick turnaround? I hear you're the best.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Go on inside. The other deputies will direct you to where you need to be. I'm gonna get Barty over here.
okie dokie. And she just like claps her hands together, like rubs her hands together and just like marches inside.
There is a security room on the ground floor where they can watch cameras. There's also the general kind of server hookup to all of the different cameras inside, the security systems, the alarm systems, all of that. You can almost smell it, Unity, and just find your way there.
Yeah. All right, who's here to help me make a movie?
Meanwhile, at front, Everett, you are going to find Barty.
Yeah, I just get on the radio and I say, Bart, you up?
I'm awake.
We're setting up over here at the protection building.
Okay.
I was thinking I wouldn't want anybody else kind of quarterbacking this thing, but besides you.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board.
We've got, apparently you may have met one Unity Castile over here setting up remote access cameras, some spliced footage for this camera feed that we're going to have going on. The prince is called, and he's already made a bunch of plans on how tomorrow's going to go.
Yeah, he sent me a whole list of technical specifications that apparently I need to coordinate with local vendors to try to make happen. I'm betting he's sending his own people. Hey, if you've got Unity, I ain't spent a bunch of time knowing Unity, but fucking people have heard about her. If you know the Nosferatu and you want fucking tech, she's the one. So, okay, I could work with her on the various shit you need.
Yeah, and Bart, when it's going down tomorrow, I want you not there in the room, but I want you there with eyes on us through the cameras to monitor everything from afar.
All right, yeah, I mean, I could probably, we're fucking close enough. I bet we could run some cabling and then Unity, and I could fucking hide out in the basement or the evidence locker or something and be on site to fucking call it.
I think that might be best.
Okay, I will, I'll go over there, work with her on getting everything set up, make sure nobody fucks up anything the prince is going to expect. And then we'll check in before the end of the night. I imagine you're doing strategy, sheriff, murder shit.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, yeah.
All right, you get to that. I'll get to this. And then tomorrow, we're saving a town, or we're finally going to take a nap.
Yeah, one way or another.
This episode of Canada by Night features the voices of Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, and Laura Hamstra, alongside storyteller Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Canada by Night's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme songs are What's Really Going On Right Now by Chase Allen Willis and Traffic by Kai Engel, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Cheaps by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. Canada by Night is a spin-off of the Dum Dums and Dice series Blood and Syrup. If you want to hear about what happened to Everett before he came to New Haven, look for Blood and Syrup anywhere podcasts can be found. For all things Dum Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Sleep well, my kindred. Sleep well in this world of darkness.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, The Gator Family, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.